What done happened next? Happy 4th of July, or should I say late 4th of July. But I hope everybody made it out pretty safe, enjoyed yourselves, spent time with the family. But like they say, crazy things happen on some of these holidays. New Year's, Halloween, 4th of July's. Sometimes it's impossible to come out clean. Ex-NFL star and podcaster, Marcellus Wiley. And if you don't know Marcellus Wiley, and if you're just going off his podcast show on YouTube, you'll be pretty shocked by this. If you don't know anything about his personal life and you just know him as the podcaster on YouTube, you will be shocked by this. Big personality. Some will call him a little corny, but likable, funny, give good insights, puts his spin on a lot of different things. But the way he comes off, and when you hear about these allegations, you'll say, nah, that ain't Marcellus Wiley. No way. No possible way he could be accused of something like this. Come as a shock. For the ones who don't know Marcellus Wiley, we're going to get into a little backstory of Marcellus Wiley. He was a 52nd overall pick by the Buffalo Bills in 1997, the NFL draft, where he played his first 4 seasons. He later had stints with the San Diego Chargers, Dallas Cowboys, and the Jacksonville Jaguars before retiring in 2006. After leaving the NFL, Wiley worked as a host and analyst for ESPN and Fox Sports. That's the backstory of Marcellus Wiley. And like I say, all this will be a shock to you if you know the man just on his podcast. And me personally, I just hope he didn't do what he's accused of. But we'll get into some later as well, because there is a trail. And usually when there's a trail, it might lead to a pot of gold. Let's get into this article. This is not the first time this news is breaking. I'm just putting my spin on it, my first time reacting to it. So let's get into it. On Sunday morning, TMZ reported that former NFL defensive end and ESPN and Fox employee Marcellus Wiley was arrested on July 4th for alleged domestic battery. Per the Public Information Office of the Orange County, Florida Corrections Department, Wiley was released from custody at 8:43 p.m. Eastern on Sunday after posting a cash bond of $1,000. PFT has obtained the arrest affidavit, which revealed that deputies responded to the World Marriott in Orlando on July 4th at 4:47 p.m. Eastern. The alleged victim is Wiley's wife. She asked deputies to remove her husband from their shared hotel room due to her being afraid of him. She said that Wiley told her he was going to, and she was afraid of his behavior. First thing you think about in this situation is just leave. Why are you sitting there arguing with your wife? You know what this could turn into. One thing I've known, you do not argue with women that could escalate to something physical or continued verbal abuse. His first mistake is sitting there. Now, what he's alleged of, putting his finger in her cheek, pushing it, all this is alleged. Innocent to proven guilty. We already know all of this. But if this man actually did all of this is definitely what we call bonehead activity. You have to be smarter than this. Especially the personality and family life that you portray on your podcast. You would think this man was a hell of a family man. Wife, kids. Every so often you will see him bring his daughter or something on the podcast. You'll see her on camera. Marcellus Wiley came off as a stand-up man, stand-up guy. That's why all this is a shock. But always rule number one. You get in an argument with your wife and she asks you to leave, she shouldn't even have to ask you to leave. You should already know about your something ain't finna turn out right in this situation. Me arguing with my wife, woman, girlfriend, jump off, whoever it is. It's time to go. I'm leaving. He would have left in that situation, just left. None of this would have blown out of proportion. Probably wouldn't have been arrested. You had a troubled home, disgruntled wife. But that could have been talked out. That could have been resolved between y'all two. But having your wife to ask deputies to remove you from the hotel, bonehead activity. Once again, this is alleged. Innocent to proven guilty. And I hope this thing just got blown out of proportion. Maybe him and his wife had a little argument. She think this is a little payback, but you sit back and you wonder, why would she put him in this situation if this is all false? Knowing the situation it could put him in, financially, public embarrassment, causing him to be out of business. Why would she do that? If you look at her as a family wife with kids, happily married. So most people will sit here and look at this and say, she can't be making this up. Then you're going to have people say, she blowing this out of proportion. Something happened, or an argument, or she could have found out something and this is get back. But we wouldn't know that till everything comes out. And it will. It always comes out. Even if it's a year later, it will come out. But unfortunately, this is not the only time Marcellus Wiley has been alleged, accused of something. Marcellus Wiley was accused of sexual assault and rape in multiple lawsuits, with several incidents dating back decades to when he was a student athlete at Columbia University in 1994. The decades-old allegations involved the 1994 Columbia University incidents. Multiple women filed lawsuits detailing alleged rapes and sexual assaults that occurred in campus dorm rooms during his time at Columbia University. One plaintiff alleged the school placed him on academic probation following her complaint, but he was later permitted to return to the, let's roll this down a little bit. Permitted to return to the university. So back in 1994, like I say, there's a trail. And usually when there's a trail, it usually can lead to a pot of gold. But we're going to find that out as this story develops. But I hope like hell this is not Marcellus Wiley putting his hands on his wife, or even back in 94, accused, alleged of sexual assault in multiple lawsuits. And if this comes out to be true, pretty much this guy will be finished. And if it is true, he should be finished, unfortunately. But bonehead activities will lead you in this situation. You got to be smarter. You can't just think you're invisible because you make a lot of money, because you're popular, you got status. Some of these guys think they can do anything. But when law enforcement gets involved, it's very serious. It can come crumbling down real quick. So we're going to sit back and see what comes out of this. Is it all smoke and mirrors? Is this a situation that just blew way out of proportion? You got a disgruntled wife that's looking for payback for whatever reason. Or is Marcellus Wiley guilty of what he's accused of? But I also want to state, Wiley has consistently and publicly denied these accusations, publicly stating that his accusers were leveraging lies for personal gain. And none of that is a shock. We've heard countless stories of this type of situation. This is not far fetched. This could happen. This absolutely could happen. Everybody out there trying to get the bag any way they can get the bag. If it got to be by lies, accusing people, they can get the bag. I'm going to state this once again before we get out of here. Marcellus Wiley is innocent until proven guilty. He's been accused, alleged. It even states that his daughter witnessed this. Not the finger pointing in her cheek or the brush off to the cheek with his fingers, but she overheard arguing. That alone is damaging if there's some truth to that. That's what's reported. Like I say, we're here just to give the news and put our spin on it. But Marcellus Wiley, I just hope this was a whole big misunderstanding. Big misunderstanding. Because if not, another fall from grace. Another fall from grace. This GDW, let me know what y'all think about this situation. Are you a Marcellus Wiley fan? Do you believe he's guilty of what he's accused of? Or you think this is a whole misunderstanding in itself? You know him personally, or this couldn't be the guy who committed this battery or any sexual assault that he's been alleged or accused of. Enjoy y'all making it Monday. And Marcellus Wiley is definitely trying to make it. Enjoy yourselves. Be safe. Peace.